In the Hebrew Bible, the Nephilim were the sons of gods mingling with the daughters of Adam. They were also known as giants and considered to be the fallen ones. Michael Mott's research suggests that they might have retreated underground. Are these the giants described in ancient texts?
Some people will say that these giants are pre-Adamites, which means they came about before Adam and Eve. Some say that they are Nephilim, which would mean they are part human and part fallen angel. And this is a theme that does find a reflection in some of the Native American lore, because the giants are described as having 6 fingers, 6 toes, double rows of teeth. Occasionally they have horns. And this ties right in with the ancient description of the Nephilim, for instance, from the book of Enoch and other sources, and even from the Old Testament. They fled a cataclysm, they fled something they fear, so they go beneath the earth and they claim that they live much longer by living there. There's just plenty of water. There are strange areas where there seems to be a lot of high pressure, which blow out a lot of breathable air. And that's not to say that you wouldn't have to have a really advanced level of not just civilization, but technology in order to carve out a space inside the crust of the planet and to make a sustainable environment there.
What became of the gods? I'm not sure that I can give an answer to this question. Maybe that the survivors, the ones that could still be alive in our solar system, live underground on Earth.
There are many reports that these giants moved inside the Earth, into inner Earth. There may be a honeycomb of caverns inside the Earth, and there may be groups living inside. Groups that are non-terrestrial, groups that left the surface of the Earth many millennia ago and just never came back out.
Has any evidence been discovered that can prove the existence of a lost underground civilization? Historians have been debating this for centuries. Perhaps the answer to this question lies deep in the Amazon jungle, 2,500 miles south of Belize. An indigenous tribe known as the Makushi have lived here with little contact from the outside world until the mid-18th century. And yet, their mythology is almost identical to beings who protect the hollow earth described by the Mayans.
You have that South American tradition, which is very interesting, of the tribe that said that they were guarding the entrance to the inner earth. And they said it would take maybe a couple of weeks to finally get down far enough where they would meet the inhabitants, and they were just these gigantic people, anywhere between 10 and 11.5 feet tall. So, of course, the common idea is that, oh, this is just a bunch of mythology by a primitive people. But what's interesting is they talked about how when they got far enough down, one of the things they saw was basically molten rock. And that's exactly what modern science tells us you should find underneath the earth. And how would a primitive people know that? There are also areas where there's all this lush plants and food and the people living down there. Can we take that seriously? We're left with this very interesting myth that has a few intriguing elements to it. It's worth a look if we can get down there.
According to their legend, they could descend into this world and come into contact with the very tall men who were basically giants, 15 feet tall, 12 feet tall. And they had been given this task of guarding this location and the entrance and not letting anyone else enter.
Traveling for 15 days down into this cavern until they literally put down their torches, because there's these inner balls of light that will light you the rest of the way on steps that are 33 inches long. Eventually making it into caverns where food was growing, lit by 4 large sun-like discs that they couldn't even stare at, they were so bright. And they describe the food as being apples the size of a human head, grapes the size of a human fist, interacting with giant beings that they described as being 3 to 4 meters in height, who would catch giant fish for them and give it to them as a gift.